Welcome to the K Plus J Living Podcast,
where we talk about designing a meaningful home, better health, and more happiness.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the K Plus J Living Podcast. Hey, this is episode 6.
Take 3.
Take 3. We're going to explain that in just a minute. What are we talking about though this week?
3 ways to decorate your home on a budget.
3 ways to decorate your home on a budget. And the reason why this is take 3 is because there is, what do you know? If you've listened to this podcast, you know we have 2 boxers, our dog.
They're the worst.
Yeah, the first time we started recording, they were not just wrestling. They were wrestling. They were straight up wrestling, and it was very, very loud. Very,
like we were in a lion's den.
Yeah, very gurgly. And then we put them outside and tried recording part 2. Started again. Take two, and they were barking incessantly because right at that moment someone walked by with their dog. That's
a very worrisome thing.
Yes, to the dogs.
Yeah.
So now baby Nora, is downstairs in her kennel, and Bo is laying on the couch, and Rachel, our oldest daughter, is watching us as we record. But all is well because I don't think we have to worry about Rachel wrestling or barking incessantly right now. So. I'm also going to touch a little later. When it comes to home, health, and happiness, Jennifer and I believe that the center of all that has to do with your relationship with God. And so I'm going to touch a little bit on some things that have been rolling around in my head when it comes to that. But when it comes to home, we were at a band event.
3rd of 4 in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
we live there right now.
A lot of band things going on, but we had one of our clients came up to us at this band event and just poured out her heart to us about how happy she was.
Yeah, it was great because we helped her.
Share that.
Well, we helped her reorganize the space, and she was just telling us all the ways that they have used that room since we helped with that, and how much time they're spending in there, and it meant a lot. It was cool to hear.
It's cool to get that feedback that your home is connected to your happiness, and it is connected to your emotional, physical, and spiritual health. It's just everything is so connected.
It's all tied in.
Yeah, that was neat tonight. But one of the ways we want to help you when it comes to home is 3 ways you can decorate on a budget, because we believe that leads to more happiness when you're saving money and making your house tell your story. So what's number 1?
Way number 1 would be to do it yourself. Was that number 1? I already forgot. Well, we've tried this 3 times. So the first way is
and who's messed it up 3 times?
My dogs. Sorry about that.
What about the title to the show?
I messed that up too. Okay.
Yeah. Just wanted to get that on recorded, set in stone.
I'm struggling. Okay, so I'm very tired. It was I feel like we've lived at band things, and we love band. We really do. But this is our 5th year, and they're all starting to run together. So anyways, so to decorate on a budget, the first way is to do it yourself. And I know people are kind of cringing at this, but it is the truth that, if you can get paint is not super expensive. And the coolest thing is we were just at Lowe's this weekend, and they now offer, and maybe they've been doing this for a while and we just hadn't done this, but they offer a sample for like $3.50, and you can get any color that they have there in this little sample. And it's the coolest thing because, so then you're not buying, a bunch of expensive paint, and wasting it on a color that you're going to hate. So
when it comes to do it yourself, to decorate on a budget or do that DIY project on a budget, doing it yourself, it cuts out a ton of cost. Now, this is coming from someone who I'm a contractor, general contractor here. We remodel houses, remodel bathrooms, kitchens, every area of your home. We do design consultation at K Plus J Living Company, but you would be hiring us, and not that we want to talk ourselves out of work, but that's one of the greatest ways to save money, because in the day of YouTube and Google, there are 50 million videos that you can search and watch. So here's what I want to encourage you with when it comes to doing something yourself is go slow.
Yep. I was just going to say that.
Yep. And take your time and do your research. Because even if it takes you a few hours of researching a project and watching multiple ideas and ways on maybe how to paint your cabinets or how to set tile or how to whatever it is.
Well, and I think too that we're so used to watching these HGTV shows that everything's done in an hour. That
Not
when no, I mean that's all edited and beautiful for TV, but we have to remember that is not real life.
This house, it's so funny. I forgot to say this. This house that forgot to tell my wife this as we're talking in real time here. When this house we're flipping right now, we're flipping a house right now, and these neighbors came over and were talking with us, and this guy was telling me the story. He goes, "Yeah, I bought a house to flip." He goes, "I did it once." He said, "I'll never do it again." He goes, "Those shows are deceiving." I said, "Yeah." I said, "We've been on this project we're working on now for 5 months," and I said, what appears to happen in an hour is actually
beautifully edited.
Right. Weeks and months worth of work.
Well, and the other thing too is I think that we look on Pinterest and we look in magazines and we think, oh, my house should look like that, or, it just is so effortless. But don't be afraid to take time and to gather and collect things. And, our room and our family room, I mean, we've been here for 3 years now. We finally have furniture in there. So now we can actually go down there. The TV is hooked up. We have couches. We can, we bought lamps this year.
Yeah.
So now we can actually, it's a functional room.
Yeah.
However, let me just say this though, that we don't have things hanging on the wall yet because I haven't decided yet. Like I'm collecting things, I'm setting things around. I kind of know what I want it to be down there.
We don't want to just
but I'm
go
not
to
in
the
a
Hobby
hurry.
Lobby shop.
No.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of taking my time collecting things and thinking about what do I really want that room to be when we go down there as a family and enjoy that room. What do I really want it to be? And so I'm just really taking my time on that room. And honestly, the kids are just so happy to have a couch down there. They don't care that they don't care if anything's on the wall.
Out.
But the other thing too is don't be jealous. When you look on, at a magazine or watch the HGTV show, there's people, they have like a whole team of people doing that.
And plus, here's the other thing. It's like destination disease or the grass is greener on the other side. What people post on social media, it's their best. I've heard it said that, people post their highlight reel. They don't post their practice.
Well, and am I the only one? I mean, sometimes I look at those pictures and I think, oh, that's so beautiful. Like my house should look like that. But then I start looking at it and I'm like, my dogs, they would get that blanket filthy. I can't throw a blanket so artfully over the end of the chair. Like, are you kidding me?
We just put this very small pillow. One of the pillows that we sell out of our shop. It's 6x6?
Yeah.
It's super small. And I was talking with Jennifer and I said, the dogs are going to think that's small enough. The dogs are going to think that's a toy.
I know. He's like, don't put that on the couch. They're going to think that's one of their toys. So far they've left it alone, but it's just probably a matter of time.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of the first thing is to do it yourself. And, the other thing too that goes along with that. So like, for example, the last place in our house that needs to be done is our downstairs bathroom. And I know.
I like how Jennifer just used the word hour.
No.
What?
The downstairs bathroom.
You said hour.
Oh.
Yeah, let's clarify that. Whose bathroom is that?
It's mine. I'm so excited. But I've never had my own bathroom before.
I know, and we're going to decorate it for who?
I share it, though.
You
for
do.
Me.
Yeah.
I share it.
do.
Anybody can go in there.
That is true.
I let you go in there anytime you want.
Yeah. I'm actually excited about this. We bought some cool stuff.
It's our last bathroom, and it's just it's very small. It has just a toilet and a sink. And
teeny-toony.
Yeah, it's just a little bathroom, but it's close to our bedroom. So it has kind of become my bathroom. I love it to have my own little space. But anyway, it's the last space of the house. And so it's the last room standing that's the original tan with the lace curtains and this scary carpet and the vanity. I mean, it's okay. But anyway, so that's the last space. But we started a rule several years ago that we do not start a project until we have all of the pieces purchased and ready to go.
Yeah, that's part of the do-it-yourself. We
Yeah.
have many, many stories about that.
Well, it was after I lived with a kitchen with a subfloor for like a year that I said, never, never again. We don't start projects until we have
It
everything
was
purchased.
concrete Durarock board, like cement
So
board for
dirty
tile.
and gross. And our kids were little, like never, no. So after that, the rule
That was
was,
early on.
it was, and we learned our lesson, and we said, okay, from now on, any project that we do, we have to have all of the pieces purchased and ready to go, and then we start any demo and that sort of thing. So far we have a
Wait, hold on. I have to pause. Rachel, what's all over your face?
Face mask.
Ooh,
Oh, Rachel has a face mask on.
Looking girl.
Oh, a
looking
chia.
good girl.
Rachel has a chia
Chia
seed.
No, I don't want to smell it. I can smell the peonies on our table. His breath.
Oh wow, what a diss.
I just smell peonies. That's really
Okay,
nice.
awesome.
Anyway,
Anyways.
oh, Rachel has a tip.
Rachel,
for the
come over here to the
podcast.
microphone.
Oh, come over here and tell us your tip, girl. Rachel just decorated a dorm room. Okay, tell us your tip.
So if you can't afford, if you can't afford paint, or if you have something chipped, you can just use nail polish.
Oh.
My belt, my black belt was, kind of bent, so I had to paint it with black nail polish.
Awesome. Fantastic.
That's a good fashion tip.
Yes.
A fashion on a budget tip.
So,
bed is chipping.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have any white nail polish for that chip on your
so
bed?
those of you that want to paint your room and don't have much money to buy paint,
just get some
don't
nail
paint your room with nail polish, but you can touch up your belt. Yes, touch up your belt. Brilliant.
You're going to look so cute when you're
Yes.
painting your walls.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
Sharpie. There you go. So anyway, so that's our rule. So right now for our bathroom, we have collected this gorgeous antique, all chippy, shabby,
Hutch.
like a hutch or cupboard for the bathroom that we're going to replace the cupboards that we have. So that's all we have. So there's no demo yet, but I'm super excited. I know exactly in my head what it's going to look like.
so do it yourself. That's one way.
Yep. So the way
Number
number two, if you're just like,
To
I
just
am never doing
Decorate on a
anything-
budget.
Yeah, and so if you're like, no way, there's no way I could do this. Also, a caveat for number one is do not do anything like electrical, plumbing, things like that.
Yeah.
Those don't do on your own. You need to call a professional. That's just the way it is. So also, the bathroom is not our last place. We have a big kitchen project that we're
Oh, here
not
we
ready
go.
for. Sorry, I'm not
I'm
going to talk
kidding.
about it. I'm just saying someday we are going to
Our
have to.
kitchen.
We don't have a
yes.
dishwasher. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as our dogs. Okay, so
Yes.
the number two way to save money, if you're like, no way can I do that stuff on my own. I hate painting. I would rather not paint if it comes down to me doing it myself. The second way to save money is to trade services with a friend. We all have friends that are good at something, and you're probably good at something that they're not good at. Maybe you are a really good cook and you like to make freezer meals. So have them come over and paint, and you trade out freezer meals or
Yeah.
whatever. Maybe you're really good at gardening or landscaping. There's always something that you're good at that your friend is not, and you can kind of trade out those services.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that?
No, that hits the nail on the head. That's a great one.
But you made up the third one, and I don't remember what it is. I hope you remember.
The third one of the number 3,
Yeah.
we had said.
Dang it. We got so many
Oh,
distractions.
one.
Why didn't you write it
There
down?
were dogs. They were.
It was
barking.
a really good one. You just rattled it off.
It's so.
Dang it.
I'm pretending. I remember what it was.
Oh.
It was use the stuff you have.
Oh, right. Yes, that was it. Okay, so
We just did. We're doing this with the. We just did this with the Zero Budget Challenge. So here's the thing. Sometimes when to decorate on a budget, you need to take the things that you have. So here's one of the things that's really cool about our home that we love still to this day. We have a lamp that we probably painted over 10 years ago
yeah.
that we still have. It used
Changed
to be
out the lampshade. It
Yep.
was just a Walmart cheap lamp.
it used to be brown,
Yep.
and we painted it white. We
Yep.
have an end table that used to be one color.
Yep, it was
It's
brown.
now white.
Also, we painted the drawer shut. Don't do that.
Yeah,
I'm
that was a long
terrified to
time
know
ago.
what was in that drawer. That was a long time ago.
I'm
We're
guessing.
much
So our
better
kids
now.
were really little. It's kind
There's
of
probably
like.
some like dried
Do you guys?
cheese.
Maybe some of you remember. I would like you to send us a link to this on our Facebook. Do you? There was. I think it was. Geraldo Rivera was looking at trying to find Al Capone's tomb, and
it's
there's
in
this,
our drawer.
and there's this whole there's this whole show It was like suspenseful. They were opening up this tomb. They were going to try to find what was in there. And then at the end of this hour-long special, there wasn't anything in there. But my guess is that in this drawer, and it was so long ago, and we've learned so much with painting and decorating since then. I've never tried.
It was probably the first thing we ever painted, honestly.
But I've never tried to get the drawer open. I'm going to do that. I'm going to unveil what's in that drawer after this podcast. I actually so want to go do this because I bet Polly Pocket toys,
Polly Pocket, and also
like
some
toast.
some toast or cheese. There's got to be something in there. They always stuck food in that drawer.
Yeah.
It was
our kids did.
Our kids.
Yeah,
they
not
were little.
Al Capone or Geraldo Rivera didn't do that. So kind of upcycle, redo what you have. And kind of along that line, this is spending money, but, hit up the thrift stores and hit up the, Facebook Marketplace, that kind of thing. We just got Rachel. So while she was gone to college, poor thing, we decided that our bedroom is super tiny and we wanted her full-size bed, and we traded her for our queen-size bed. So people are going to ask about this. Like, what do you mean full-size bed? But for most of our marriage, we have always slept on a full-size bed.
Yeah, a double.
Which we just...
But then when we had, right when I was pregnant with Carter, someone gave us a queen-size bed frame, so we got a queen-size bed. And it was fine for, when our kids were little and we have...
too big.
Well, but we had kids in the bed with us and dogs and whatever, and it was fine. But now that our kids are older, we still have the dang dogs, but we make them sleep, well... They're back and forth. Anyways, but our bedroom is tiny, and so we decided a full-size bed was better.
Is our podcast...
It's mostly about the dogs.
Is it really about our dogs? I just thought about that. So it's, the Cape West J Living podcast.
They are a very big part of our life, even though they're horrible.
Yeah.
So anyway, we switched the beds, and Rachel came home at Christmas, and she was super sad because the bed frame that we had was just huge and stupid and whatever. She hated it in her room, so she took it down.
So we found another bed.
Yes, on the marketplace, and we got it for like $40 or $45, and then we repainted it for her, and it's this gorgeous like wood sleigh bed, and it's huge, and it's just beautiful, and it's something that she'll take with her when she moves out someday. It's just beautiful. But we got it for like $40 or $45.
It's probably a $350 bed.
Yeah, it's so nice. And so if you don't mind being kind of patient and looking through, the Facebook Marketplace, or we try to pop into thrift shops a couple times a week.
We love thrift shops. We love hitting
yard
sales, alleys at the end of the month when people
anytime. We are like the best alley shoppers.
Yeah, we are junk picker-uppers. Not that we don't
have a bunch of garbage in our house, but sometimes people throw stuff away. Like the other day, I drove past a pile, and the neighbors were outside, and I said, "Hey, what's going on with that stuff at your neighbor's house? I know this sounds kind of crazy, but my husband builds stuff out of like old drawers and stuff, and they had this big pile, and they said, oh, well, they actually got evicted, and they threw everything out and whatever. We got some really good stuff.
You can go to apartment complexes at the end of the month when people are getting ready to move out. They're getting rid of stuff. They don't want to take it with them.
That are moving home,
so
they don't
here's
want
the
to
thing.
take it with them.
We're not telling you to go collect a bunch of junk and find a bunch of bed bugs and stuff like that. But here's the thing. We also, so just last week, we found an 8-foot long
dresser.
Probably over 100-year-old dresser.
I think it's that old.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it might be.
Over 100-year-old dresser that people are just throwing away. It's gorgeous.
So heavy.
It's going to be easy to restore. We're going to restore it. We're going to make it cool, and we're going to turn around and sell it.
Because it doesn't have any drawers, so we have to do something
I'm going to hand make drawers, and we're going to sell in one of our shabby chic shops, and it's going to be so much fun. So there's ways. Here's the main point. We're not saying you need to go do what we're doing, but you can decorate on a budget by again.
You have to have patience. It does take patience and time.
Yeah, do it yourself. Trade services. Or use the stuff you have around your house and just repurpose that. A can of spray paint on that old end table that's been sitting in your room that's maybe all dinged up will bring life to something.
Bring new colors together.
New colors or something.
Move stuff around your house too. That a lot of times I'm just moving things around. I get tired of something in the same place, and it just the other day I just traded chairs out of our bedroom and living room. I just moved stuff around. Different look and
kind of freshens things up.
Yeah.
So. But so we think that's one way to make your home tell your story on a budget. And on a side note, even if you have the money to spend, and do all the big fixer-upper things, we still encourage you to say, how can I be creative with the resources that I have? That's always a great thing, because it's better to give than to receive, and if there's opportunities to give, then spend that $50,000 on a kitchen. We're nothing against anybody spend $50,000 on a kitchen remodel. That's fine. But just look at ways, how can I do more with less? It's always a great thought.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the other things from a happiness standpoint that I've had rolling around my head, I was telling Jennifer that, John chapter 15 is this whole passage of the Bible about Jesus being the vine and us being the branches. And I've been rereading this over and over again here recently. And my father-in-law actually has grapevines at his house, and there was just this clash of the physical, just everyday life of my father-in-law just went back on a mission trip to South America, and he was telling me, hey, can you help me take care of these couple things on my grapevines? And I was also reading these verses by chance at the same time. And one of the amazing things about grapevines is that the fruit that's produced on them obviously comes from that vine, and the branches are just the holder of that fruit. The branch really can do nothing to produce the fruit, and if the branch is severed from the vine, it doesn't produce anything, which is the same thing Jesus was talking about. And here's one of the main points that I want to point out, is I think we try so hard in our life to produce our own fruit, which means this look at me, or look what I've done, or look at my accomplishment. And I think everybody needs a little bit of the attaboy or attagirl or the pat on the back of encouragement of what we've done. But one of the biggest things for me in this whole thought was that the more I rest in who God is in my life, the more fruit that really matters is actually going to be produced in my life. And it's a very counterintuitive thing to me in my early 20s and 30s, and that I'm really growing into my 40s, of just resting in who I am, where I am, what I'm doing, and not being anxious for what's happening in my life, but allowing my relationship with God to produce the fruit that He wants in my life. So
That's good. I got nothing to add to that.
Nothing to add to that
Nope.
thought?
Mm-mm.
So we want you to live that well-rounded life with home, health, and happiness. Anything to add before we close this episode out?
No, nothing.
No?
I'm good.
We posted on our social medias these peonies
They
that our
smell
neighbors
amazing.
came over and gave us.
I sort of feel like
Oh.
I'm eating perfume, though. They are like
I know.
incredibly strong.
I feel like I'm sitting in the middle of a garden right now. It smells
or
so...
snuggling with a grandma.
Or snuggling with the grandma. Really? Do grandmas smell like peonies? Okay.
Maybe mine did.
Okay, awesome. Whatever. Okay, well that's that thought. So hey, if you enjoy this podcast, we would love for you to hop onto iTunes and rate this podcast. What it does, if you leave a comment, we've had some friends and clients, things, leave some comment. It's just been great because one, it helps it go up in the ratings, which makes it show up in the algorithms, and more people can be reached, so we can help them design a meaningful home, better health, and more happiness. We'd love for you to do that. Also, connect with us on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. We'd love to connect with you. Also, you can always go to our website, www.kjliving.company. And hey, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.